Goldman Sachs puts youth unemployment at around 70%, and worryingly it says about 77% of schoolgoers are getting a low to medium standard of education. But it's welcomed government initiatives to boost youth employment, which include the Employment Incentive Bill, the expanded Public Works Programme and the Community Works Programme. It says South Africa has the potential to garner between $5 to $10 billion worth of foreign direct investment per year, rather than a net average of $2 billion over the past 20 years. But it warns that in light of recent labour tensions, the country must communicate to the outside world that its workforce is a reliable partner for growth.
What investors want to know and business generally want to know is that they have a reliable partner in labour that they could depend on, perhaps cut painful deals with labour, but at the end of the day, having got the deal, whatever the deal is, that will be implemented and executed upon. And so Marikana and the environment around labour in the last year has been one where there have been more questions than answers about the reliability of labour as a partner, and we need to resolve that.
Business leaders welcomed Goldman Sachs' reflective report, saying it showed that the country had come a long way, but that current shortfalls in development can only be addressed by all stakeholders. It believes that current plans for future development are constructive, if only there was more emphasis on implementation.
The National Development Plan, I think, has introduced a dialogue that is forward-looking and is challenging, and that really calls upon every South African to become a patriot in the sense of the word, of wanting the best for their country and being ready themselves to work for that.
Finance Minister Pravin Gordhan was unapologetic about the state supporting over 16 million social grant beneficiaries, arguing that society would be in a far worse shape if that net wasn't made available. He stressed that South Africans needed to be more like Madiba's generation, who thought for the collective, not the individual.
If those who have are unwilling to share, how are the have-nots going to get access to resources or jobs or skills or anything like that? So we've got to be a particularly sharing society over the next 20 to 40 years for us to reach the kind of numbers that we are talking about as goals that we've set either in the NDP or in any other
backdrop.
Goldman Sachs expressed concern that as the US Federal Reserve starts to taper its stimulus program, South Africa would be vulnerable to capital outflows, which it can ill afford given its wide current account and fiscal deficits. Nompumelelo Siziba, SABC News, Johannesburg.